righty. Good morning. Welcome to AJ Writes Crypto. I'm just kidding, you guys. I won't stay here, but I hope everyone's having a great Friday. We got some great stuff for you today on the show. And with nothing further, here's AJ. Oh,
I was actually over here and I did that last minute. What's up, everybody? Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Jada said, "Can I open the show?" I said, "Yes, you can open the show." But sadly, Jada is going to fly. Well, I'm going to Maryland today. I'm flying to go visit the fam bam, go visit my G-mom, all that. And then she is going to the West Coast to see her family, see her good friend in Canada and stuff like that. So she will be out for a couple weeks, but she will still, I'm going to say, "Hey, where's your portfolio update?" So we're going to get some quick, 60-second film recordings. Meta Bam Bam, what's up? It's Brett from Bow Manor. What? That makes so much sense because you were in the chat before and I was like, oh, that's funny. Brett from Bow Manor. All right, story time, everybody. Sit down, sit Indian style because it's story time. So Brett from Bow Manor was in my guitar class with Mr. Wallace. We used to play Slipknot on acoustics. That was very fun. And he was a hell of a football player as well. Thanks for being here, Brett. Appreciate you, man. That's really cool that you're in the chat. I absolutely love that. Good times from high school. Good times. Good old Bow Manor in Chesapeake City, Maryland. Oh, man, what a shithole. Hey, public school system. Let's do it. Let's go. Mr. Wallace. You got to love Mr. Wallace. That's hilarious. Awesome. Well, shout out to everybody in the chat. We got my guy, Brett, Meta Bam Bam, Crypto, Stiz, JH, Kenan Hinson, my best friend in the entire world, Chauncey Peppertooth. We got Oleg. We got Doc D Farky Fark, 05 Brumfield, Olarmy 03. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you. AJ, you look younger. Oh, no, that was Jada. Jada's younger than I am. I had a glow up. Okay. I had a glow up. That's funny. Awesome. So yeah, happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for being here. Super excited to get into today's show. Things have been going very well over here. Now we finally got a lot of this room set up. I believe the shelves are coming in today. Oh, the shelves are not coming in today. Damn it.
there will be a much different set probably in a week. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to build the shelves all by myself because you're leaving me. I'm just kidding. All right, so let's look in crypto. Let's talk crypto, everybody. Let's talk crypto. I could literally bullshit with the chat 4 hours. All right. Audio sounds great. See that? Wait, see that? Audio sounds great. I do love to hear. Mr. Mojo Ryzen, a little worried about my quant bag. AJ, I'm a little bit worried about my quant bag too. I love that project. I love that community, man. But it kind of is like a little bit like holding XRP, a little bit like XRP. I'm still holding my bag, but I'm not actively buying more of it at the moment. I'm just going to wait. I think we have to be patient with Quant. I'm still believing in the process. I'm going to be patient. I'm not selling, but I'm a little worried myself, but I'm definitely not going to buy more. I'm just going to keep what I have and hold it for at least a year and see how it goes. All right. So let's get on back to talking about some crypto here. I'm already at the gainers and losers. Hold on, AJ. I did see Phantom was the top winner. It's not like I called that or anything. All right. So Ethereum 33. So Bitcoin kind of chilling, a little weird, down on the week, but has been sideways. All trading action has been a little awkward. I'm not saying it's unfavorable trading conditions, but it's not, quote, easy to trade right now, if that makes sense. Been a lot of kind of sideways action with the direction, like slightly downward action, but there have been scalp longs. It's been a little bit easier to short, but yeah, it's not the easiest trading conditions right now. We got near 647, and the thing about all these coins coming down is that we've seen the local high levels. We've seen those levels, right? So those levels become new targets. All right, they just become support resistance levels. So if say with Hedera, for instance, now a little bit below 11 cents at 10.4. We saw Hedera go to what, 14, almost 15. That level now is a target. and that level will become support resistance. So it's okay when we pull back. One, we have to, make sure we have that dry powder on the side, make sure we have money coming in so we can actively keep buying crypto at these prices. I understand, not everybody can put thousands and thousands of dollars into crypto every week. I totally understand that. But even if you can spread out your DCA $20 at a time, $15 at a time, whatever it is, you know what I mean? While we have these dips, this is the time you need to act. This is the time you need to create a plan for every position you have. I want you guys to have a plan. All right. And even if you haven't written down your each goal for each long-term hold, I want you to go back. I want you to get a little binder, a little notebook, and try to figure out what was your average buy-in. Try to keep track of all your buys. You can even go back, on the exchanges and look at where you bought which coin for how much. All right. Figure out that average buy-in and then figure out that target, where you need to go to do an X to do a 3X or a 5X or whatever that goal is. So pen and paper, write down every goal for every position you have. And sometimes this is a moving target, but this is why we kind of roll with the punches. And like I said, with the portfolio video out yesterday, we did just put a brand new portfolio update out yesterday. Bought 4 coins between the two of us. I bought 2, Jada bought 2. And these portfolios, it's not about making 100% every day. It's about slowly, consistently making money. At the end of the day, in 5 weeks of investing, Jada's up, 14%. I'm up like 24, 25%. But look, that's way better than just holding cash, right? That's way better than the stock market. That's pretty good. All right. It's not about getting 5,000%. It's about slowly increasing that value over time. And, when you do that and you compound that, that's when you really start to make money. So one day at a time, everybody. Keep mine on a whiteboard. Exactly. I have a whiteboard myself. Morning to J.E. Maddox at 96 cents. Interesting. We will definitely check. Yesterday, I flipped my Quant and Pyth into Algo. Wow. I don't know about moving that Pyth, bro. I'm really, really liking that Pyth. Jay, sorry. So Narman, I believe Narman was one of the people sent an email in not too long ago. Thanks for being here, Narman. So what we're doing, Jada will co-host the show sometimes. Obviously there has been some pushback from people for when she stands next to me, but eventually what we're going to do is once the set is in its final form, she's going to be like the young Jamie on JRE, right? And it'll be me. And then when she wants to interject, it'll go to a different camera. She'll say what she has to say and it'll come back to me. So I think that format will make it a lot better and a lot more professional. And that is what we're working towards. So don't worry about that. All right. So now let's go back to the, back to the crypto. All right. Phantom up 47% on the week, 10% on the 24 hours, 9.5% anyway. Not bad. Not like I called it or anything, no big deal. Phantom obviously I've been accumulating some Phantom. I even bought more Phantom around like $1 even. All right, let's take a quick look at the gainers and the losers here. Try to isolate that volatility. I do have a couple stories today, but today I really want to spend time with y'all today to really zone in on some price action on some trades. So let's talk trading today. All right, so top 300, have been looking a little bit at the top 300 just to get a feel for what coins I'm going to start seeing again and again that are rising. I never heard of Blot before, but it's up 72%, so maybe I should write that one down. Dow Maker up 31, DXXE 26%. Got to learn about these projects. They're up and coming. We got Phantom up 10%. Like I said, ICP woke up just a little bit. Aptos has been one that's really been on my list lately. And then in the losers, Slurf down big time. Actually, it told a couple people to sell Slurf if it goes below 66 cents. It was above 66 yesterday. Now it's already 59. So if they sold at 66, they definitely saved themselves a little bit of headache there. And the Trump coin down, Milady down a little bit, Pepe down, Pal's down to 57. Damn, I bought some Pal at 66. Dang it. All good. I believe in the PAL. The PAL is my PAL. Phantom is the top gainer. Aptos is the second top gainer. And, I did post some charts in my Telegram group yesterday. And guess what? Phantom and Aptos were 2 of those charts. And there they are. Top gainers of the day. Not bad. Toncoin, Arweave, And why is Tether on the top gainers list? And why is it down? It's down on the top gainers list. Something's wrong with the algorithm. We got Pepe down big. I posted a Pepe short 2 days ago. Must have completely played out. Posted a Jupe short as well. Also played out. Man, I'm not doing bad on my calls lately. It's been getting pretty ridiculous. Also posted a Dogwifhat short yesterday, also down 10%. Take a quick look at some of those as well. Let me take a quick little check of the pulse here. Check the chat. Alrighty. Is TradingView down for anybody else? TradingView is not down for me. TradingView is not down for me. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the Wi-Fi or something. All right. So what I do want to say, there's about almost 200 people in here at 181 right now. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Man, we're going to have I'm going to have a couple news stories I want to blitz through really quite fast. But today, like I said, I want to focus on trading. I want to focus on helping you guys get into some positions for the weekend and to make some money in crypto. All right. So let's take a quick look at these stories and we will keep the ball rolling. All right. So story number one, Bitcoin ETF net outflows streak hits 4 days. Outflows, 836 million. The Bitcoin net outflows the last 4 days total is 1.8 billion, while BlackRock inflows and other funds have been unable to offset them. The US Bitcoin spot ETF has seen net money leave the category for 4 days straight, matching their longest streak in the 10 weeks of trading. Put another way, one Bitcoin's funds outflows have accelerated while the others have not been able to offset the bleeding. The 10 Bitcoin funds endured net outflows amounting to 94 million on Thursday, putting the segment's cumulative bleeding at 836 million so far this week, according to investor data from Farside Investors. Spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US have tallied 11.3 billion of inflows since launching on January 11th. The fund saw about 2.5 billion of capital enter last week, an all-time high over such span. So, obviously, this is normal. You know what I mean? I don't want people to think like, oh, the ETFs, it's trending down. We're four bad days. Well, the thing is that the ETF, the inflows and the outflows of the ETF are going to be put under a microscope because it just happened. This isn't really, this hasn't been happening for years and years. This thing, just got approved earlier this year, right? So basically, what people are going to make a mountain out of the molehill when it comes to week-long trends in the ETF inflows and outflows. The important part here is that it has been a much more of a net positive than a net negative. And when you see $1 billion in outflows a week, well, those people are taking profits. Those people are taking profits. Think about how high Bitcoin has gone up since the day of the ETF approval and to where it has gone and where it is now. It makes complete sense for some of those. When people invest billions of dollars into Bitcoin, they're gonna take those profits. Don't you worry about that. All right. So I'm not making a mountain out of the molehill. And I hear definitely some people in the chat kind of rooting for a big pullback. And, I'm not against it. I don't want people in the chat. I don't want, if there is a big pullback, I don't want it to discourage people. I don't want them to throw their hands up and say, oh, I quit, because I've seen that, time and time and time again. If I had a dime for every time someone, gave up on crypto because of one crash, I'd probably be a millionaire. So, I have my fingers crossed. I'd like a pullback as well. I'm not against it, but all in all, I would like a slow crawl. A slow crawl to the top would be good for me. All right. So next story. This is a pretty good one, by the way. Let me click share this tab instead. Let me pull this bad boy down. Boom. Hedera, one of my favorite projects, HBAR, elevates UK's crypto landscape by joining UKCBC with Ripple and Coinbase. The too long didn't read. Hedera has joined the UK Crypto Asset Business Council, or the UKCBC, aligning with industry leaders such as Ripple and Coinbase to drive innovation and regulatory advancements in the UK cryptocurrency ecosystem. This strategic partnership aims to foster collaboration on regulatory frameworks, consumer protection, and the promotion of blockchain technologies, positioning Hedera to play a key role in shaping the future of the UK's digital asset space alongside other major blockchain entities. Amazing. So this is big stuff. And this is what HBAR has been doing for a very long time. HBAR has been aligning themselves with just Goliaths, with just the top of the top highbrow partnerships. That is what HBAR does. And I don't know if this is the biggest deal in the world, but the fact that they're still branching out constantly, it is really interesting. I saw like some sort of flow chart yesterday of Hedera, like Hedera, and then it like branched off into the governing council, and then that branched off into those partnerships, and when you look at like the workflow sheet of how large the Hedera ecosystem is, you're just like, bro, how is this thing only 10 cents? You know what I mean? So I put a tweet out last night saying like my goal for the rest of the month is to buy as much Algorand as I can before the month ends. To add to that publicly, I would like to, I am going to buy more HBAR this month as well. I have been targeting a couple more risky picks for my public portfolio. You guys know that, that is not my only portfolio. I've been building several portfolios, and I am looking on to take on more risk, but I am still accumulating those targets in the top 100 coins that I'm really big on. You guys know I really like the graph. I've been buying some Solana lately. I've been buying some Matic lately. Algorand, HBAR, VeChain. Been buying some Pyth. Been buying some Phemex token, the PT token. Actually, so I've been pretty sick run lately on Phemex, getting pretty large positions, but like a 7% win, a 10% win, a 12% win. Got another like 6 or 7% win last night. But when you're doing really large positions, 6 to 7% wins are really big. So and all the profits that I've been making, I've been rolling over into PT on Phemex. So if I win a trade, I'm not shipping it and putting it in my wallet. I'm just converting it to PT token and loading up, because I'm telling you, the Phemex token is going to be a massive, massive winner. It has pulled back just a little bit. I will show you the chart. Share this tab instead. 1 second. Here is the PT token. So like I said, time and time again, the entire existence of this coin on the daily chart formed a cup and a handle. It has broken out of that. Still probably about 15% to go to the top of the measured move, but I'm not even really worried about what the measured move is going to be, what the measured move is not going to be, because it's such a new coin, and basically we're in price discovery, right? For the sake of argument, from its current price point right now at 86 cents to the top of the measure move would be a 19.8% to $1.03. All right, it is pulling back at the moment. Not the end of the world though. Put in a slightly lower high last night. So this was right here was midnight 2 days ago. This was midnight last night. So as you can see, it kind of spends a lot of the days pumping, or at least the second half of the day pumping, and then tops off at nighttime and then bleeds out during the day. All right, that's kind of has been the deal for this project, the coin here lately. But I do want to say, I would certainly consider setting an alarm at this level at 84.7. Okay, just about 85 cents, because it would best case scenario is that if it does bounce here, and look at this, on the 12-minute chart, price coming down, anchor wave, trigger wave, bullish divergence, does look like it is trying to pop. You cannot leverage trade this one just quite yet, but I am obviously have a very, very large holding of this coin in my spot portfolio. So keep an eye on this one, everybody. Not to mention, the ecosystem they're building out. You can stake it. You get rewards from it. Well, they're working out the rewards in the Phemex Pulse chat and everything like that. So awesome. I just wanted to just give them a shout out. Big shout out to my sponsor of the channel, Phemex. If you want to get access to the free alpha chat at Phemex Pulse, I have a link right down there in the description. I want to be a little bit more active in the Phemex Pulse chat. Just lately, because I'm traveling this weekend, kind of had to double down on filming and editing yesterday. So when I get into like an editing rabbit hole, if I'm editing a video, like I don't even look at anything. I just focus for 2 hours and try to edit the video, So I do want to spend more time in the Phemex Pulse chat, and every time I post my charts from my Telegram Alpha group, I always will post one of those charts in the Phemex Pulse chat to give everybody a taste of what I'm actually doing in Telegram. 2 days ago in Telegram, I posted 7 charts. Yesterday in Telegram, I posted 10 charts, and sometimes it'll be like a zoomed in. If I look at like the daily on Gala, then I'll zoom in and show you the 2 hour on Gala, like for more like recent price action and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of people winning a lot of trades in the Telegram group. Make sure you click the email down below. Send me an email at ajalphagroup@gmail.com if you want to get signed up for the Alpha Telegram group. Have already got over 50 people in that chat. Well, in that group, and a lot of people winning a lot of trades. Got a couple emails saying like, "Oh, it already paid for itself. I'm so happy. Like, I just won like $3,000 on this big trade. Like, I can pay my car off now." Like, kind of emails like that make me really happy to see that. And the fact that the group has really only been going for like 3 days is pretty insane. So shout out to everybody who's been winning trades in the group. And if you're not winning trades in the group, we will get you there. All right. So I want to spend, it is 11 o'clock. I do want to spend the last half of the show really kind of going through all the charts that matter and trying to find, let's try to find some winning trades here. Okay. All right, hold on. How long does it take for approval? Okay. It depends. Well, it's not right. So basically just send the, huh? Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
AJ will get you by the end of the day.
Yeah,
he already entered his info. That's why I'm saying.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. So sometimes like I check my emails before work, and then sometimes I'll check them at lunch, and then I'll do a lot of my stuff, after 4 p.m. Okay, so that is the thing there. Tony Denning, how often do you redistribute your bags if you have 1 or 2 take off compared to the rest of your bags? I'm learning this from my first bull run. All right, Tony Denning, good question. So how often do I redistribute my bags if I have 1 or 2 take off compared to the rest of the bags? All right, so Tony, this is why we always separate our long-term holds from our short-term trades. Always. What people do is they say, "Oh, I'm putting in this $1,000 in this coin. So I'm holding it long-term." And then it'll pump 20%. And then they will message me and say, "Hey, should I take profits?" And I say, "Well, did you make a plan like before you open the position?" No, that's unfortunate, because this is what happens is that people, once things happen, once the market moves one way or the other, people are scrambling because they don't have a plan. All right. So we separate long-term hold, short-term trades. So Tony, if I have a long-term hold on a coin, whether it's Solana or Algorand, Matic, whatever, if I write it down before I open the trade, before I buy the crypto, I write down, I'm going to buy, $1,000 in Algorand, and I'm going to hold it for 1 year minimum. And then obviously you're going to, recalibrate after that year is up on what, the target is. But for me, when I say, all right, this is a long-term hold, that indicates that this amount of money I'm putting in right here, right now, that is a 1 year minimum, period. It kind of erases it out of my mind because I know I'm holding it for at least a year. Why? Because there's a difference between long-term capital gains and short-term capital gains. Long-term capital gains, you do want to pay that. Short-term capital gains, you don't want to pay that, especially when you're DCAing the kind of money I'm DCAing. So that is, so in terms of redistribution in my HODL bags, no. If I buy 5,000 in Quant and 5,000 in Graph, and the Graph rips and Quant doesn't, well, I wrote it down. They're long-term holds. Maybe Quant will catch up. Maybe giving myself that year will give Quant time to catch up. Because if I wrote it down, if I say, hey, this is my long-term hold, holding it for at least a year, I'm sticking to that plan. I'm not changing. I'm not pivoting, because that is my long-term holds. But this is why we have short-term trades. Like in Miami. I knew that the market was going to come down. When I saw the graph at 50 cents, and when I saw Algorand as high as it went, when I saw my portfolio, I said, oh, we're about to have a pullback. And I thought to myself, well, I really wouldn't like to see this portfolio take a 20% dent from this number it's at right now, because it was a really big number. But it did. And did I sell any of my bags? No, I didn't. Why? Because I'm holding them for at least a year. But this is why I use my short-term trades to offset the losses in my HODL bags. Okay. So when I say, oh man, my portfolio is going down, And I mean, I have a pretty significant amount of money in my short-term trade bag. Okay. So when I say, oh man, like, you know, it's really sad, I'm about to take this dent, what I do, I go short big time short in my short-term bags, and I'll roll that money back over into the coin that I want to catch back up on, or into Phemex token, or to whatever I'm thinking in my, my short-term profits get rolled over into my long-term huddles. Okay. So, you know, when it comes to redistribution, with my long-term bags, there is no redistribution. In my short-term bags, my short-term trades, you know, that is constantly redistributing. Okay. Hope that answered your question. All right. So, Brumfield, $2 super chat. What target should we look at? Link to buy in. All right. We can look at the link chart. That's no problem. Let me go here. Link. Well, really, in the grand scheme of things, all right, so right now I think of Link as it's in two chapters. There's two chapters of Chainlink. There is the Chainlink you bought below this line in this box of chop, and then the Chainlink you bought in this box of chop. All right, this is a value area, and also the point of control is in this value area, and this is another value area right in there. Okay, so basically, also this down here, it's already circled, is another value area for Chainlink. Okay, so would it be really nice if we could use a time machine, go back in time, and buy a lot of Chainlink at $8? And I can't even tell you how bullish I was on Chainlink when the whole CCIP narrative came out. I said the letters CCIP, cross-chain interoperability protocol, on this channel. I don't even know how many times I mentioned that, because I knew Chainlink was going to pop based off this narrative. And I met Sam Friedman, not Sam Bankman-Fried, but Sam Friedman, different person, from Chainlink at Web3 Atlanta at a conference, had watched him speak and had a conversation with him after his speaking engagement, all about Chainlink. And I left very bullish. And that was when Chainlink was around $8. I did buy a lot of Chainlink at $8. But now Chainlink's in an interesting spot, right? Because look, I will redraw this line, because here is the line that separates this value. So what? All right, let me re-explain that. Chainlink trades in ranges. Chainlink gets boring. Okay, look at this, from 22 to basically, the end of last year. Chainlink traded in this little box, this 40% box, for over about 550 days. Okay, all Chainlink did for 500 days was trade in this little boring ass box. That's what Chainlink does. Okay. And then it comes up to the next level of the staircase. Okay. Comes up to the next level of the staircase and trades in this box. And then I went to the next level of the staircase and started trading in this box. Okay. So I want you to think of Chainlink moving like a staircase, first of all. Second of all, now Chainlink has come down. It has come down a little bit, and it is actually approaching this support resistance level. This level is at approximately $17.44. Let me say that number again so you can set an alarm, or write it down and set an alarm later, at $17.44. That is a big deal for Chainlink. As you can see, temporary wick, came back up, irrelevant. But we're kind of watching this level to see, and also with the point of control on the volume down here, if Chainlink did lose this level and came down to, say, $15, would be a 13% drop. We would officially be inside of this value area. Okay. And then if Chainlink, it is likely that if Chainlink comes to the point of control, it's likely to test the bottom layer of this range. Okay. So that would be a 25% drop to 13.16. I would really, 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 really not want to see Chainlink dip below this, because Chainlink, there's not a lot. Look at the volume profile. See, there's not a lot of volume. See these big gaps in the volume profile? Those are called low volume nodes, okay? And if Chainlink loses this support resistance level at, right around $13, it would be Chainlink would quickly fall back into, the $8 to $6, $7 range, okay? That's how low volume nodes work. That's how I called that maker trade in the Telegram group yesterday. Low volume nodes. Okay. So what would be a good place to accumulate Chainlink? Consistently, that is a good place to accumulate Chainlink every week. Spread out that entry price. Okay. The best you can. If you want to hold off and wait to see if we come down to this and try to buy some Chainlink, maybe pick $15 as a target. I'm not against it. But I'm still not completely sold that we're going to have, is it possible we're going to have a big retest? Yeah, it is very possible. Am I completely sold on the idea? Not 100%, not for 100%. But yeah, so I would maybe set a target around $15. Do you think Bitcoin on the daily is a head and shoulders pattern? Well, let's look at it. No, not at all. So, I mean, if you zoomed in, maybe. I see what you're saying. Look at the 6 hour. If you want to say shoulder, head, shoulder, yeah, that kind of checks out. That kind of checks out. But the thing is that the neckline, it's not really big because this is the neckline right here. And then, there's that. And then here's the measured move. And guess what? It's already past that. Okay. Because here's the shoulder, right? So your neck's above your shoulder. So there's your neckline. And then you measure the distance from the top of the head to the neckline and pull that line down again. The price is already below the measured move. Okay. So it's kind of a nothing burger. It's not forming a cup and handle. No. Not maybe an inverse cup and handle. Yeah, inverse for sure. Let me get rid of this bad boy so I can think. Jada's taking boomerangs over here. All right, so you actually were smiling at it. I know. So inverse cup and handle idea on Bitcoin. I don't know. Is an inverse cup and handle a real thing? I don't think I've ever heard of an inverse cup and handle, but here you heard it first here on AJ Writes Crypto. But say, if we're going to interpret that as an inverse cup and handle, this right here would be the breakdown point at 61,500. And if we lost from the breakdown point to the measured move, would be a 20% loss to 49,300. And that would actually spit Bitcoin out right above this big giant support resistance level right here at 48,000. So maybe we got that inverse cup and handle. I don't know if an inverse cup and handle is a thing. I'd have to look that up because I've never even thought about that, to be honest with you. Came here from Discover Crypto. Glad you started your own channel. Hey, cool, man. Good stuff. I texted Tim Warren yesterday. I actually called Tim Warren yesterday because Investing Bros hit 10,000. They got to 10,000 subscribers. I know that they have been working hard at that channel for a long time. Him and T-Shroom, two very good dudes, very smart people. Tim and Warren and I always got along. We were always good friends. We would have dinner nights. The wives liked each other. We would have game nights and stuff like that. And obviously, when I left Hit Network, that all stopped immediately. But we never had that blood. I'm not really sure what his deal is. I don't know if he's still at Hit Network. I don't know. But I also know that they were talking shit on Blockchain Basement about Investing Bros or whatever. And Tim, I don't know if they were joking, but they clapped back on Investing Bros. I don't know if they were joking or what, but it seemed kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. It was strange, but glad you're here. Do you think Algo can 8x from today's prices? Connor Lang. All right, let's take a look at it. After this question, I have been doing a lot of the show has just been call out questions from the audience. I do have a couple things I have planned in the show. I do want you all to know that. All right, Algo. This downtrend really needs to get broken in the short term. Kind of unfortunate that it came up to that 25-cent level and since has been rejected from that 25-cent level. That is really oops, did not mean to do that. Algorand needs to stay above 25 cents. All right. I really don't like below 25-cent Algorand. Also, let me get rid of some of this stuff. Oh, because I have my brush on. Damn it. Also, hey, is Algorand also forming the inverse cup and handle? I need to do some serious research after the show. Is an inverse cup and handle a real pattern? Well, this isn't really a cup because it's more of a V shape. But you see my point? It's more of a V shape. But hey, you never know. Yeah, but my point here is that Algorand, getting rejected from the support resistance level, very unfortunate. I really hope Algorand can hold this level I just drew, 22.5. That's a big deal. In terms of, algo, projection over time, man, kind of consider where it's been before, kind of consider where it is now. This right here, 282 would be all-time high. This is all drawings here from the most recent price prediction video. But long story short, I do think that Algorand can recover. I do. I think that it might take time. I am a proponent of the idea that anytime anyone makes a prediction in crypto, I always feel that the timelines is never accurate. The timeline's always a little bit off, but the prices end up being right eventually. So I am kind of in the school of thinking that, I think we're on to something, but I'm not sure exactly when. I based on the Bitcoin halving cycle, there's that idea. But just because that doesn't mean it's exactly going to play out exactly the way it did before. You know what I mean? It could come close, but not exactly. Also, what scares me about Algorand on the weekly chart, you see the price go up and then anchor wave, trigger wave. We got bearish divergence forming on the weekly on Algorand. That's very unfortunate. That is the exact reason I thought Algorand was going to this level at 9 cents. Now we're forming bearish divergence on the weekly. But the only good thing, the saving grace here, is that the money flow is curving the other way. So really, and also like my tweet the other week, actually last week, is that you see this white line right here, this white line, Algorand is in a confirmed uptrend. And Algorand can actually fall. If it fell straight down today, it could fall to 18 cents, 19 cents, and still technically be in this uptrend. All right. So if you really want to follow Algorand, draw this line on your chart and set an alarm on it. And if that alarm goes off, just give up. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to do if that alarm goes off. Go short if that alarm goes off. But I really think Algorand is going to pull out of this, because why do I think this? Because first of all, we did wick up. We did put in a higher high. We put in that higher high, and I think it's consolidating. Even if we lost this downtrend, like worst case scenario is that we lose this level. Worst case scenario for Algorand is that we lose 16 cents. When Algorand was coming up, when Algorand was at 9 cents, I said if Algorand breaks 16 cents, we're going to 25. And we broke 16 cents and went to 25. Okay, that happened. Algorand cannot lose the 16 cent level. If Algorand loses 16 cents, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a big conversation. But hey, they did just hire a new CMO. The new CMO, Mark, from what I hear, he's a nice guy. He used to work for Android, stuff like that. They did promise me that once he settles in, that I will have an interview with the new CMO. Obviously, I'm going to pick his brain. I'm going to give him shit, but it's going to be in good fun. But no, I think I haven't had a chance to hear him speak yet. But they are doing that podcast together. John Allen Woods, you all know John. Min. When I did the interview with the people from Para, Min, the woman on that show, very, very smart woman. Love Min. Min is super cool, by the way. And so John, Min, and Mark, the new CMO, are doing a podcast together. And I'm pretty bullish on it. I can't wait to see it. I hope they actually are doing a good job with production value, putting time into it, stuff like that. Because Algorand needs forward-facing people in the camp. They really need forward-facing people in the camp. Like they get, obviously have influencers talking about them and stuff like that. That's great. But the camp is very important for them, and they need to really to keep on facing forward. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do here. A couple charts I wanted to look at here. So render. This is a trade I nailed last night. I also posted about the render trade in my Telegram group, and I even gave the Phemex Pulse chat this render. All right. So what happened last night? I was actually doing my trades, And this alarm right here went off. That alarm right there went off. And I was thinking, oh, this is probably a bounce. Of course, it wicks down to make me momentarily think it could be a short. But then I was just patient. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. I just kind of watched the chart intently for about 15, 20 minutes. And I saw it pop. I did get a good trade in here. Yeah, I think I got out as it was coming down in here. I think I was leveraged up. I think I made like 7 or 8% on it. It was a nice little chunk of change. And then, it actually kept going. You guys know me. I absolutely hate going to sleep with a trade open. I will not sleep. I do it sometimes, but I don't like doing it. It ended up pumping 6.66%. And then Satan himself told Render, "You cannot go past this level. You pumped exactly 666. Go back down to the trend line." That's what the Render Satan said. And then it went back down to the trend line over a course of 6 hours. And then it actually lost this trend line. All right. So that's actually the story here with Render, is that it has been in this. Now we just zoomed out into the 2-hour chart. Okay. We just zoomed out, and it has been in this kind of, upward channel. It's not ascending or descending or anything, just a basic upward channel. And it has lost the lower band here. If you want to, you could even argue and say I drew this bad, but sometimes I cut the fat out on my drawing. But you could even pull it down a little bit if you wanted to, but then it kind of throws that off. This is why I draw charts the way I do. But yeah, even there, it is pretty damn close to the trend line. If you redraw it, it's right on it actually right now. And not to mention, look at this. Anchor wave, trigger wave on the 12-minute with the price coming down on the trend line. Hey, this might be a scalp long for Render. Might be a scalp long for Render right here, right now. Yeah. Hey, man. It has been, what I don't like about this trade is how choppy it's been. You see the past couple hours, it has been not wanting to make his mind up. It's been trading in a 1% range, like a 1% sideways chunk since, 8 in the morning. So hopefully it pops out of this. But hey, I'm going to set a little paper trade here. Maybe I'll get in the trade after the show. I think maybe this position right here, 1067 long on Render. I think that could be a good scalp. There you go. Let's check out Caspa. So Caspa last night was very interesting to watch. It was one of the largest movers yesterday. It hit this level, and then this was the alarm that I had set. All right, because this was obviously a support resistance level and the local high. What it did, it actually got rejected and then bounced back up, came back up and put in a higher high, and then fell down. So kind of really strange price action on Caspa. But what I don't hate about it is that it is holding this level and actually put in a slightly higher low. So this right here would be your signal for Caspa, this line right here at 14.3, 0.143. Okay, if it loses that level, likely short. It could bounce here and go, and it could bounce here and put in a slightly higher high if we consider it's forming this little uptrend like this. That could be the case, but I am keeping a close eye on this level right here, breaking back above there at 15.4. And then that's the long level. And then, 14.3 would be the short level. All right. Sui. Sui is another one I talked about last night. And this is literally a perfect example on why we set so many damn alarms. Look at this thing. I had 3 levels drawn on this chart when I sent this position out. Okay. I said, I'm thinking long-term short, but it could bounce from here and go to here. That's the gist of what I said. And what did it do? It bounced from here and went to here. 3% trade. Okay. But ultimately, it did end up going back down to that line which ended up being a 2% short. So both of the things I said worked out. All right. We came up, we came down, we came up, we came down, and we literally bounced off these 3 levels that I drew. And this is why we set alarms. And this is why we don't get impatient, because if you really wanted to go long on Sui, what you want to do is have this level get broken. And if you really wanted to go short on Sui, what you really wanted to do is have this level get broken. And none of the levels really got broke. So if you could have scalp traded for 2%, yeah, but the trade didn't really happen because none of the levels actually got broke. It just bounced between the 3 support resistance levels that I set. So, when I saw that kind of action, I'm not trying to force a trade into this chart. This is when you need to have the wherewithal to say, this is not a chart worth trading. Okay, there is no trade here. This is boring. I'm going to go find a better chart, and that's precisely what I did. So another thing. So Aptos, this is another one. Wait, where is it at? Yep, right. Share this tab instead. Does it work? Okay, there we go. So here is Aptos. This one could have gone a number of ways. It pumped up, and originally I was thinking that it was going to come back down because at the time it had like this kind of curve to it, and it was like this and was going this way. But once again, this is why we never just blindly jump into a trade. We give it time, we get patient, we watch, because if you would have watched the curvature of this right here, oh, there's my render alarm again. Watch the curvature of this and realize that it's bouncing off this support resistance level back there. You would have known to go long off of that. So, actually my paper trade long with myself was actually off this candle. You see that little white line? I did not actually trade this chart, but I paper traded along there, and it is up almost 4% on 24 hours. So I made the right call. I still think that Aptos is eventually going to trend down. When you really zoom out and look at like the 2 hour, it is a little scary considering how far the point of control is below the price. You also want to consider, if Aptos breaks this local high, I would be very impressed. I'd be very impressed if it breaks this local high. It very well could, though, too. It very well could. But I think that, I was certainly looking for a short here, ended up being a long, but at the same time, the trend is your friend a lot of the time, and don't forget that. And anytime you realize that a coin, we're looking at the 2 hour chart now, anytime you realize that the coin is in an uptrend like this, every trade that you get in, that's a short, you got to be watching that like a hawk. If you're going to short in an uptrend, you got to be ready. Okay. So that is kind of why I pivoted my idea on this one when it bounced off this support resistance level here, like I said before. And, that was kind of my cue to go long. So keep a close eye on this support resistance level at 1675. And also keep an eye on these trend levels here. Let me zoom out so you can see them better. These trend levels here. Aptos has been a juicy chart to trade lately, and I think there's still a lot more here. All right, Maker. This was the best chart that I called last night, and I still feel like there is another trade here now. Okay, Maker. Waiting for it to switch. Where is it? It's not trading, changing the chart. Okay, there we go. It finally changed the charts. All right, so here we go. Maker had a similar setup to Caspa, but Maker, because they both pumped up pretty significantly. But when Maker put in this lower high, that's when I started watching it. And then I realized that this was the support resistance level because it held this level. And when it went, so this was my paper trade short. I should have done this trade for real. But this was the call. And obviously it fell down past the level I called. Actually fell 8% in 12 hours. This was my best call last night. But you can see that this support resistance level, it did hesitate and go sideways here for a little bit. So that wasn't that was a really good call on my part. But now, it is kind of popping back up. And how did I call this trade so well? Look, see this little swiggle line over here? See, I just made a money sign out of it because that's what it is. A low volume node. There's volume here. The volume splits and the volume pops back up, right? See this one? This one. AJ chart graffiti at its finest. This one. All right. And look at where it is now. Okay. So Maker is going to move pretty quick between here and here because there's not a lot of volume. So now, Maker is reapproaching the support resistance line at exactly 3,171. We're going to, kind of wait and see what this one is. It going to come up, get rejected, or come up, go down? Definitely set an alarm at that level. I will be watching this one, but this was certainly my best call last night. And there's definitely more juice left to squeeze on that chart. Dogwifhat. I really have been eyeing this chart a lot lately. I've been eyeing this chart a lot, like a lot. This level has been held a lot at about $2. Actually, like slightly higher, slightly higher lows across the board here. There are ideas on larger time frames. If you look at the daily, it's pretty obvious. If you look at the daily, you will see that it does look like Dogwifhat is going to come down to some of these levels. If it bounces here, it already touched this one, for instance. If it bounces here and goes up, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. But I do have the levels drawn out if it loses this level. This level, like I said, is right at $1.99, right at $2. So if you want to get a good trade in on Dogwifhat, definitely have an alarm set at the $2 level. If it loses that level, we go in short. And last night, it did have a MACD cross on the 2 hour. There's a lot of bearish signals on Dogwifhat last night, but ultimately what happened with Dogwifhat and the lesson of the chart of Dogwifhat is that the EMA, see how the price was bouncing off the 50 EMA? That's bullish continuation. Once the price gets below the 50 EMA, like it gets here, that's the beginning of bearish world. But if it bounces off the 200 EMA, it's kind of like a video game. The red line, the 50 EMA, those are the minions. The white line is the boss fight. Okay, so it got through the minions but lost in the boss fight. So if it doesn't go through the 200 EMA, the short is invalid, and that is what happened with Dogwifhat last night. So but the lesson there is still quite valuable, and it is bouncing up on the 12-minute right now. Might be a scalp long here for Dogwifhat even if you just longed it to this previous high. Say it went to this previous high, that would still be about an 8% trade. So I think there's I think you could long Dogwifhat right now and probably be pretty profitable. All right, Jupe, man, nailed it. Nailed this. Oh man, 7% win on that short. Called it. Very proud of it too. It's really all about the support resistance level. It's all about the volume. And there was another indicator I had on this one. I forget which one I used though. It might have been IQ even. Yep. Look, everybody. This is this is the 2-minute chart. That's why I was confused. But right there, the red arrow on high IQ, those normally do it for me. I really like the red arrows on high IQ. They are very good indicators. And then also on high IQ, this is where I called the short. It bounced around a little bit, but I was right about the move, just bad about the timing, but the move still played out. And the right here, this entrance 4 hours, good for 6%. It did bounce here. I can get rid of this little text right here. So now Jupe is actually heading back up to the same support resistance level at 121. If you want to get a trade in on Jupe, set an alarm at 121 and go from there. It could get rejected, could go up. We don't have a crystal ball. We can't predict, but we can react to it. But the first thing it has to do is get to that support resistance level. So let's see how it goes once we get there. Those are all the charts that I wanted to go over. Definitely a lot of really good alpha in there for you guys to trade. One more thing I wanted to point out is that I cannot believe my eyes. I cannot believe my eyes. The floor price for the Bored Ape Yacht Club, 14.4 Ethereum. 14.4 Ethereum, $47,000. I could buy a Bored Ape if I wanted to. I could buy a couple Bored Apes if I wanted to, but I am not going to because they are trending down big time. And I used to really want a Bored Ape. I really do. And I still kind of want a Bored Ape. I think I'm going to buy one eventually anyway, just to say I did it. But what's interesting is now look at the Pudgy Penguins floor, 15.8, $52,000. Pudgy Penguins have flipped the Bored Ape Yacht Club. There is a new sheriff in town, and it is a penguin, and it is Pudgy. Very interesting. Very interesting. And honestly, for people who cannot afford the very large targets, those very large blue chips NFTs, consider getting a little Pudgy. still gets you in the ecosystem. They were just at like 0.8. Now they're at 1.3, basically 1.29. And still gets you in the ecosystem, still gets you involved. I feel like if you're trying to build social media, trying to meet new people, trying to network, I think getting involved in the Pudgy Penguin ecosystem is good for certainly a couple hundred followers, couple friends you might meet along the way. That's really what matters. And I have been kind of going back and forth lately. I've been day trading a lot, so I haven't been really paying attention to NFTs. But I still really like NFTs, and I like talking about NFTs. And look at Sappy Seal, one Sappy Seal away from getting back to the 1 Ethereum floor. Maybe I should just buy the Sappy Seal to send the floor back to 1 Ethereum. I already have one Sappy Seal, and I like staking it for Pixel. I think Pixel is a really smart play for passive income. If you are into that kind of thing. So basically you stake your Sappy Seal and then you get Pixel every day. I'll actually show you the chart on PXL. That's not the right, or is it PI? I don't think that's the right one. Let me just go to the website and I'll figure it out the hard way. I will do it the hard way then. And my computer's freezing up on me. Wonderful. Okay, that's the right one. Yep. So there it is. Around 9 cents right now. I get 75. So Pixel's 9 cents. I get 75 Pixel every day by staking my Sappy Seal. My Wi-Fi is at 1 bar. That's why it's being weird. So, yep. So there you go. I do appreciate each and every one of you. That is it for this week. You guys are amazing. I hope you guys get a lot of the trades that I just put out there. Also, I just had an alarm on Render go off. Render is certainly a trade that you want to target this weekend. It has been very volatile and has been bouncing off the lower band of that trend line. There is some money to be made there. If you want to get involved in the Alpha Telegram group, make sure you send me an email at ajalphagroup@gmail.com and join the Phemex Pulse Chat. Sign up for Phemex, link down below. Shout out to my sponsors, Crypto Chips, Market Cypher. Shout out to BitBoy Crypto. I'll be on the trading end of that show. At the end of the show, we actually move the trading show back to the BitBoy Crypto show and the TA segments at the end. So be sure to catch me on that. I hope you all have a safe rest of your weekend. I'm going to Maryland, but I will still be putting out content for you over the weekend. My name's AJ Writes Crypto. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Get rich or get wrecked. Have a safe weekend.